Well, my great-grandfather was Henry Janssen, who came over here to the United States and founded the industries, the Berkshire International and the Textile Machine Works. And over the years, he became a major philanthropist and did a great many things for a lot of different organizations. But one of the things that he saw a great need was to get trained people in the companies in engineering specifically. So he was instrumental in bringing the Wyomissing Polytechnic to this area so that they could help to train the workers in the companies. And I'm really not exactly sure of the exact year of when that all started, but my father was in the ground floor of that development with Dr. Harold Perkins when he first came to Reading. Well, my father's name was John W. Bowman, and he was president of the Berkshire Knitting Mills, which was the major manufacturers of stockings over the years. And when Harold Perkins came to Berks County to set up the Wyomissing Polytechnic, my father was the first advisory board chair for Dr. Perkins. So Daddy was really on the very ground floor, and Wyomissing Polytechnic, when it started, was just one little building over there in Wyomissing, just a tiny little spot compared to what you see out here today. It's really quite amazing. Then my mother also became a very key player with the development of the campus because she loved the place and she loved Dr. Perkins. And she just thought that this farm and this farmhouse and the barn and the surrounding land would just be a perfect center for a conference center for the university. So many years even before it was given to the university, she started talking with my Aunt Helen, Mr. Janssen's only surviving daughter, who was essentially our grandmother because our natural grandmother died when she was quite young. She just kept talking about this as being such a wonderful idea, and Harold and Mother and Aunt Helen would have lunches together, and you know how the development of a campus works. And then Aunt Helen finally thought, this is a pretty good idea. Once the property was given to Penn State, which was a lovely gift in itself because it was the property in 26 acres right on the river with all the outer buildings, Harold found that there were a lot of internal costs to converting what was an old farmhouse and a barn into a state university property. And my mother helped a great deal in the funding of all that, because we not only gave the property, but she helped a great deal in getting it up to speed for university use, and it was very costly. There's so many happy memories associated with this place. I told you about the family dinners at the barn, the egg hunts in the garden, coming out and walking through the woods and cataloging leaves and trees and learning so much from my aunt. But it's a wonderful spot, and I'm just very, very proud of the facility that it's become, because I think it's been a wonderful usage of the land. It could have been sold off and become a housing project or something, and I'm just really glad that didn't happen. Well, my aunt died she died April 16th, 1980, and our manager of our family office said that all of her antique items and possessions were going to be auctioned. And at first we thought maybe, they thought Pennypack or somebody local. And the family said, we didn't think that was the kind of person we should be getting a hold of. So they called Sotheby's in New York, and they sent some underling, so to speak, from Sotheby's to check this place out. And he must have gotten on with John Marion on the telephone with Mr. Marion, and he said, I'm way over my head here. We got to send the big guns in to take care of this, because they took all of her lovely antiques, silver, china, etc., from the house in Wyomissing, everything from the farmhouse and the barn, and they spent from April 16th till October, getting ready for that sale. Cataloging, getting the catalogs ready for print. We had people from all around the world here. There was a tent pitched out here on the lawn. Sotheby's was here. They had a grand opening the night before, which brought antique dealers from all over the world in. A lot of my friends and people in the community have things from my aunt, you know, in their homes. But they're all over, everywhere. You see a lot of her things still being shown in antiques magazines. You know, when things are coming up for auction, they'll often say it was from the Wetzel estate that you see these dining room chairs and tables. But she had everything. She had these closets out here were stashed with silver and porcelains, and she just had little treasures everywhere. Well, she was a magnificent collector of fine arts, and she knew what she was doing. She collected with a lot of thought, and she was a very brilliant lady. Then the redecorating started because, you know, there was a lot of inner stuff that had to be done, and Harold assigned a decorating committee. I was kind of on it, but my mother was sort of behind the scenes, kind of saying, let's do this right, Harold. I don't want anything done that I'm not happy with. And if she wasn't happy with it, she came in and paid for it to be done right. But Mother was a very quiet person behind the scenes, but she got a lot done out here.